Today's movie is Braveheart. One of my subscribers has requested this film. So if you also want a recap of any film, then comment. In 1280, King Edward Longshanks invaded and conquered Scotland following the death of Alexander III of Scotland, who left no heir to the throne. Scotland was now in possession of King Edward Longshanks of England, a very ruthless king. The rebels of Scotland raised their voice against King Edward, and because of this King Edward called him for an agreement. But there was a condition that no one would bring weapons. And now all of them reached to an agreement with King Edward of Scotland. Another man comes out for this agreement. His name is Malcolm Wallace, and he is a farmer. He has two sons, John and William. When it reaches the place where the agreement is to be made, so it is seen that King Edward of England has killed everyone and hanged them. After this incident, Malcolm and 50 farmers decide that they will raise their voices against the King of England and fight him. Young William Wallace witnesses Longshanks' execution of several Scottish nobles, suffers the deaths of his father and brother fighting against the English soldiers, and is taken abroad on a pilgrimage throughout Europe by his paternal uncle Argyll, who has Wallace educated. Slowly time passes and now William has grown up and William comes back to his village. After coming back to the village, William meets his childhood friends. There is a girl whose name is Moran MacLano. William falls in love with her, and the two marry in secret. They marry secretly because the King of England had taken a new rule. It was said that whoever marries a new bride, his bride will have to spend her first night with our landlord. And King Edward of England takes out this rule because he wants to grab the land of the landlords of Scotland. Because they will never agree to this, that's why he is persecuting them. Actually, it was a very old practice that was now being implemented again. On the other hand, even today there are some people in the village who want to rebel against King Edward of England. That's why they also come to William, but he flatly refuses. He used to say that I want to do farming, and I want to settle my family. Because no one knows that William is married to Moran. Now one day when Moran is in the village, there is a soldier of King Edward of England. The one who has lustful eyes on Moran, and when he teases Moran, so she punches him hard. And then he tries to rape Moran. But there William comes and he saves her. When both of them are leaving from there, all the soldiers surround them. William puts Moran on the horse and says, "You meet me on the river bank," and he sends her from there. William fights with all those soldiers. But when Moran is on the way, some soldiers catch her. On the other hand, after fighting with the soldiers, William escapes from there and reaches the river bank. Because he does not know that Moran has been caught by the soldiers and he is waiting for her there. Moran is tied to a pole in the middle of the village. He says that raising a hand on the soldiers means raising a hand on the King of England. And it will definitely be punished, and now Moran knows that she is going to be killed. Now her eyes are looking for William, but he is looking for her on the banks of the river. After this, he slits Moran's throat, and then she dies. When William returns to the village, all the soldiers are waiting for him. William learns that Moran has been killed. In retribution, William fought the English garrison. When William was fighting with them, all the other rebels of the village would have supported him. Now he kills all the British and whoever killed Moran. Let's put that Englishman on the same pole where they did Moran. William slits his throat, however. William retaliates. But William has lost everything in his life: his father, his brother, his village, and today the girl he is married to whom he loves. And now William has nothing left in life. Kissing his wife before burying her, he says goodbye for the last time. William and his companions have liberated their village from the British. When the people of the nearby villages come to know about this, many people join them. After this, it becomes a group of moving rebels and their leader is William Wallace. And they kill many Britishers one after the other. With this, William and his companions kill the magistrate and capture the entire city. Now King Edward is completely upset with William. He gives this responsibility to his elder son that now you have to handle this thing. His elder son is married to the daughter of the King of France. Although it is said that his eldest son can never become a father, and this duty will be performed by King Edward himself. King Edward can do anything because he is very cruel. Now that King Edward has given full responsibility to his son, William, of his people, of Scotland. So he tortures Scotland a lot and sends a huge contingent there, in which infantry, archers, and horsemen are all present. And when that big group reaches in front of William's people, everyone gets scared. They want to go back, but William motivates them all. Now they all decide that they will fight with that big army. King has knights from whom it is almost impossible to win. When the horsemen attack his troop, William has already made huge wooden spears. And as soon as the horse riders are about to come near them, they all point their spears toward them. Due to this, all the horse riders die. After this, William and his entire army attack the British. William wins this battle, which is a huge victory. After this victory, the noblemen in Scotland give William the title of Sir, as well as the title of Protector of Scotland. Now all the leaders there start fighting among themselves. And this fight takes place for the throne. There are two claimants to the throne. William says that we have just defeated the British, but they will attack again. There a man asks, what should we do now? William says that we will attack England. But no one agrees with William's point because attacking England is a big deal. William now leaves from there with his companions. And after that, he reaches York City. After reaching here, he loots the entire city after Prince Edward fails to send reinforcements there, killing Longshanks' nephew, whose severed head is sent to the king. When King Edward sees the severed neck of his nephew, he is horrified by it. And he understands that if not today, then tomorrow Scotland can attack England. Because William's intentions are very strong and he now wants to send someone to negotiate with William. But he does not want to send his son because he knows that he is not capable enough. Therefore Longshanks sends his son's wife Isabella to try to negotiate with Wallace, as a distraction for the landing of another invasion force in Scotland. But William refuses. He says that this is a way of enslaving. Many years ago, there was talk of agreement on the same. And when everyone reached there for agreement, King Edward hanged everyone. I was very young at that time. He also tells Isabella about the atrocities in Scotland. Only then there is a man there. He speaks in the Latin language that he is lying, he is a beast. He thinks that William does not know the Latin language. William speaks in Latin that I never lie, yes I am a beast. Or in French, do you prefer? William knows many languages because he traveled a lot with his uncle. Now Isabella asks everyone to leave from there. She talks to William alone. She says that I came to know about your girlfriend. William tells that she was not his girlfriend, she was his wife, and we had married secretly, so that I don't have to share it with the British. But they killed her to get me. Isabella is hurt by this, and somewhere Isabella now starts liking William, because she does not have any relationship with her husband. William says, I don't know why I told you all the things. Maybe I am seeing the courage of my wife in your eyes. One day you will become queen, then you keep your eyes open. Before leaving, William says, go and tell your king that there will be no rule over William, nor on any Scot while I am alive. After this Isabella leaves from there. Meanwhile, it is also shown that William repeatedly dreams of his wife because he loves her very much. But she has gone too far from him now. He wants to liberate Scotland at any cost. On the other hand, when Isabella reaches England, she tells that he refused to negotiate. Here Isabella learns that they are about to attack York City. That is, King Edward will attack York City where William and all his people are. King Edward's trick would have been that when he and his army were in front of William, then a huge army would come from behind and William would attack his people. Due to this, he will lose this war completely. When Isabella comes to know about King Edward's trick, so she sends a message to William in which the complete strategy of King Edward is written. When William finds out, he becomes alert. Now there are officers of high positions who have their own armies. They don't want to fight this battle because they feel that they can neither fight nor win such a big army. But William says that we have won before without you guys, but now we need you. The claimant to the throne of Scotland agrees with Robert William. He promises William that he will support him. Now both armies are confronting each other, in which William and his men would be on one side and Robert and his huge army on the other side. This year was 1282. During the battle, Scottish noblemen Mornay and Lachlan, having been bribed by Longshanks, withdraw their men, resulting in Wallace's army being routed and the death of Hamish's father, Campbell. In the same fight, William and his companions suffer a lot, in which many of his people are killed. In the midst of this fight, King Edward starts to feel that now he will win the war, and he starts leaving from there with some of his companions. William is injured because he too has been hit by an arrow. Seeing King Edward leaving, he starts following him. Then one of King Edward's men comes toward William to stop him. Now a moment comes in their encounter when William is about to kill him. But when he lifts his Gallia, it was Robert, the same person who is a claimant to the throne of Scotland, and who had promised William that he would fight with him. But he is fighting against William with King Edward. Although Robert did not want to do this, he had to do so at the behest of his father. Seeing Robert, William breaks down completely because William has been cheated from all sides. Due to William being injured, he becomes unconscious. That's why some people in the British Army started coming towards him. But Robert hands him over to a man and tells him to take him out of there quickly. And he takes William from there. When Robert sees the dead bodies of his people, he feels very sad because somewhere he is also the reason for this. He is choking inside and tells his father that he will never do this again. I don't want to be a traitor. In fact, his father would have asked him to do all this, so that his family would be saved and the lands would be divided. William kills Lachlan and Mornay for their betrayal and wages a guerrilla war against the English assisted by Isabella. And slowly he starts becoming famous all over Scotland. Now, he wants to rebuild his new army by recruiting new soldiers. King Edward gets upset because of this. King Edward again sends Isabella to William to negotiate. He also thinks that if William kills her, the King of France will turn against him because Isabella is his daughter. Now Isabella and William meet. He asks, "Why do you help me?" as she has helped William many times. She tells him that she loves him, and after that, they make a physical relationship between them. And in the morning Isabella goes back to England. On the other hand, Robert the Bruce's people come to meet William. They say, "Come with us, the whole of Scotland will be united, and we will fight together." However, William's friend does not want him to trust them because Robert had betrayed William before. But William goes because he wants the independence of Scotland. When he reaches there, the British catch him and beat him a lot, due to which he becomes unconscious. This makes Robert very angry because he did not know anything about this conspiracy. Robert's father would have taken a promise from the landlords and the British to give Robert the throne of Scotland in return for this work. Now William is in British captivity, and they tell him that you are accused of rebellion against the emperor. William used to say that he is not my emperor. They tell him that if you accept him as an emperor, then death will be very easy, otherwise he will suffer a lot. But William does not consider him an emperor, and they decide that tomorrow morning William will be punished with death. Isabella goes to King Edward at night. King Edward is very ill and is about to die. Isabella first begs him for William's life, but he shows no mercy. King Edward's son says that his father had told him before losing his voice that after William's head was beheaded, he would die comfortably. When Isabella learns that Edward cannot speak anymore, she whispers in his ear that your dynasty will end with you, because the child in my womb is not of your lineage, but he is William's child. And saying this, she leaves there. The next day, William is tortured very badly and killed in front of the whole people. His body is cut into many pieces. His head was hanged on the Bridge of London, and his hands and feet were also sent to different places to be hanged as a warning, so that no one ever revolts. But this revolution was not going to extinguish. In 1314, Robert, now Scotland's king, leads a Scottish army before a ceremonial line of English troops on the fields of Bannockburn, where he is supposed to formally accept English rule. Instead, he invokes Wallace's memory, imploring his men to fight with him as they did with Wallace. Hamish throws Wallace's sword point down in front of the English army, and he and the Scots chant Wallace's name as Robert leads them into battle against the English, winning the Scots their freedom. And with this story ends. So this was the story of a true warrior who, by giving his life, gave the freedom of Scotland back to the people of Scotland.